Hi everyone, and welcome to the MEFA podcast. My name is Jonathan Hughes, and today we have on our show an interview segment with three high school students, Tanmayee Kollouri, Laura Valentina de Silva, and Ella Bailey. Now, I always like it when we can actually get to hear and bring you the voices of students directly, and this week we have these three students from King Phillip High School in Massachusetts. They're part of an international business competition called DECA, and you're going to hear about what that competition is like and why they decided as their topic to cover college loans and college financing, and what they did to foster knowledge and understanding on that topic for themselves and for their fellow students and those students' parents. So without further delay, please enjoy my talk with these very impressive first-year high school students, and I'll be back with you for the follow-up.
My name is Tanmayee Kollouri, and I'm a freshman at King Phillip High School.
I'm Laura Silva, and also a freshman in King Phillip High School.
I'm Ella Bailey, and I'm also a freshman in King Phillip High School.
Well, thank you very much. And so together, right, you are engaged in a project together. And can you tell folks what that is?
Well, DECA is like an elective that you can choose in the beginning of the year, which it covers public speaking, professional dress, and
Project management.
project management, and it just gets you ready for like a business major in college.
And DECA itself is directed towards entrepreneurship, and it calls emerging leaders in college and high school communities.
So specifically in DECA, we're in the project management category, which means that we pick a year-long project, and it's like because we're in the project management category, we use like project management tools in order to like solve like a problem.
So DECA, and it's like, is this a nationwide thing?
It's an international thing.
It's an international thing.
Yeah. Each school does it differently. Like I know, for example, Sharon has it like an after school club. We have it as a class. So it's integrated into our schedule, just like any other math or English class. And then we have that class once a day, and we do competitions. So we do 3 competitions. The first level of competition is districts, where you compete with like neighboring school districts. And then the second level of competition is states, where you compete like within statewide. So it's like a little bit more farther away. And then the last level of competition is ICDC, which is international competition.
And you said that King Phillip is kind of a heavy hitter as far as this is concerned, right?
Yeah, we're like the #1 chapter in Massachusetts for the last like 20 something years.
So it's a lot of pressure. And you're all freshmen, is that right? You said that?
Yeah.
Well, good luck with everything. Now, how did you get interested in this type of thing? Since this is a class, is this something that every student takes?
No, you can choose like if you want to take it or not. But like with this project specifically, I got interested when Tanmayee was telling me about it, and like I knew that I was gonna need this information further on in my life, like when applying to college.
So let's talk about that then. What are you doing for your sort of concentration or project within DECA, this project management piece?
So we're basically talking about student loan debt and the dangers of it, and incoming college students don't really have the rudimentary knowledge needed to go into college and set up financial aids and save for like their student loans. So we're trying to spread information about student loans.
Whose idea was it to focus on this part of it?
Tanmayee.
And so what made you pick that, Tanmayee?
So I think for me, it started with my parents because my parents both grew in India, and they both went to college there. And college there is much, much cheaper. Like both of their education was finished with like, I think 20 to 30,000 American dollars. And obviously now that I'm going into college, like, you know, and my parents have like 401ks and things like that. Like, I think my dad started talking to me about it, I think when I was going into freshman year, and he was like, you know, for you, it's going to be a lot more difficult to pay for college because like, we never had to deal with that. So I don't know how the process here works. So we can't offer you as much guidance as we would like. And he started like sending me all these links. And I think also my cousin is going to college right now. She's a sophomore at Northeastern, which is a private college. So, she was talking to me about like how expensive it is and how much student loans she had to take out. And like, I just think like all this like overwhelmingness of it, I think was what really got me interested into like, what can I do to make my life easier when I go into college?
I basically got into this project and I wanted to continue because my cousin majored in marketing in college, and she was telling me all about how she would have loved to do DECA because it would have been a great opportunity for her to jumpstart. And me personally, I don't really want to do marketing, but I feel like it would be a good opportunity for me to do this for my resume. And also, my parents both own businesses of their own. And so, as I was picking my classes, I saw DECA, and my mom brought it up to me, and she was like, "It's a great way to like solve a problem, and I feel like you would succeed a lot in this category."
And then my dad, he was the one that got me interested. He owns a store in Boston, I think, and he's taking like a class similar to DECA on Tuesday nights. And both my parents like grew up in Brazil, and then when they came back, they couldn't really afford college. So, and they're like not pressuring, like encouraging me to go to college so then I can like further my education.
Tell me what you're actually doing as part of your project now. About, you said that the focus of it was student debt and paying for college, and tell me what everything that you've done.
So I think we've had like three main events that we've done. So we can each explain one. Our first event was our school's open house. So that was like early October, October 5th. And that was when our project was just getting started. So we hadn't had any like concrete plans on what we wanted to do. Everything was just kind of in like the planning phase. And we like set up a table and we made flyers so that everyone like could follow our Instagram, like more updates, whatever. And I think it was like a couple parents that came up to me and Ella, and like Laura was like handing out flyers, and then they came up to me and they were like, "Oh, are you guys hosting a meeting after school one day because we want our kids to go?" And I think that's where we kind of like got the idea that like a lot of parents are actually interested in this kind of information. And like the school obviously does have like informational nights and things like that for senior parents, but it's a lot of parents want to get like a head start on it. They want to be like better prepared for it. So they were like, if you guys plan an after school thing, I think that would be really beneficial.
So throughout the school year, we did, I think, three in-person seminars to Mr. Swansberg account, Mr. Swansberg accounting class. And Mr. Swansberg is like a teacher that has some classes about accounting and financial literacy. And then we presented to like a class of sophomores, a class of seniors, and a class of freshmen. And then we posted pre-surveys and post-surveys to like see what they knew before and after. And they like really got the information they needed.
And what was the information? Where did you get the presentation from?
So we made the presentation ourselves with the help of my cousin. It was like 8 slides, and it kind of just took like it was like an overload of information basically put into like easy words to understand. So we had basic information on like what's the difference between a private loan and a federal loan, what are the difference between unsubsidized loans and subsidized loans, like what is the current debt crisis like in the United States. So just like a lot of information that wasn't like, we weren't like telling people what to do because obviously we're not educated on that. Like, we haven't studied that. We're not professionals, but we've just like took a lot of data and research that we've done, and then we just put it into slides and presented it to them.
Okay.
And then we also hosted a financial literacy night. And Beth Keenan came in and she did a presentation. We had a goal of around 20 people to come in and take notes and just like listen to the presentation, gain knowledge. But we exceeded that, and there was over 85 people that came. and the library was filled, and we
Wow.
were just super happy. And basically, Beth Keenan came in and she talked about how to set up financial aid, unsubsidized versus subsidized loans, federal versus private loans, all the information. And we saw so many parents writing down notes and just listening. And it was a huge opportunity because all the parents that came in were going to have children that were going into college, or their children are already in college, or they have like debts that they still have to pay off.
Mm. Probably sometimes all three, probably. I was going to
Yeah.
ask you, do you know the parents were the parents of, was it seniors primarily, or was it the earlier grades?
Yeah, it was like primarily upperclassmen. There were some freshmen and sophomore parents, but it was like because at the beginning, Mrs. Keenan took like a vote. She was like, "How many senior parents are here? How many juniors?" And I think there was like 90% junior and senior parents, and then like a little bit of freshman and sophomore.
Now, do I understand too? Is there, did that lead to any further plans?
Yeah, so in the attendance that night was also the head of our guidance department, Jessica Nutter. And after the presentation ended, she was super impressed with us and she came up to us and Mrs. Keenan and she talked about the possibility of Mrs. Keenan coming into her school again in January or February to talk to seniors now. Like now that you've gotten into college, what are the next steps you can take? And then they also mentioned hosting one with parents of seniors. So it's like how to pay for the college bill now that you've gotten into.
Mm. And so, if I can ask you, based on all the things that you've done, I imagine you learned something about, financial aid and paying for college and all that stuff. And if you could talk about whatever that was, and then also, what do you think most kids don't know and should know?
Personally, the biggest thing I like learned is that there's so many ways you can actually like reduce your student loan debt that a lot of people aren't aware of.
Mm.
Like when I was doing research, I learned that you could take some of your classes through community like classes like in high school, and that reduces the amount of credits you have to take for college, which like thereby reduces your college expenses by a lot because like each class in college is like $2,400 or something like for each credit. So when you're reducing the amount of credits, you're like indirectly reducing your amount of cost for college.
So, what is next for you for the project?
I think even before our financial aid, like or the other night happens, we have districts coming up soon.
Yes.
So it's January 5th. So currently we were like learning our script for our presentation. And I think we're really focusing on that right now because it's so soon. And I think after districts, we'll have a lot more time and I'm gonna reach out to Miss Nutter again, see what's happening in the guidance department, see if like they need our help anyhow. And I think after districts, states is only like a month after that. So we have like a busy schedule.
I can only imagine. I could not have done anything like this when I was a freshman in high school. So congratulations to you. You're all very poised and accomplished at such a young age. But do you know what you might want to do when you're out of high school and you're out of college, or you might want to study in college and do ultimately? Is it have your own business or?
So my mom has always wanted me to have my own business where I get older, but that's not really the route I want to take. I want to go to medical school when I get older and become a surgeon. So this isn't really like the department that I'm willing to work with when I'm older, but I think it's a great opportunity to do DECA right now because it's fun.
Can I ask what gave you the idea of being a surgeon?
I think I just have watched like a lot of
Grey's Anatomy.
I watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy, and I can really just picture myself like being there, and it's been like a dream for me ever since I was like 8 years old.
Okay. Laura?
I mainly started DECA because I wanted to learn more about the business side of it because when I like graduate college or during college, I want to take a marketing major because my dad and my aunt they work together and do something similar, and it like intrigues me. And then just doing DECA can like prepare myself, pay better for college, and like be more educated on the topic.
I think for me, I want to go into finance. So that's something that really interests me. For a while, I did consider medical too, but my cousin is a business analytic major. So I like sit with her while she's doing some of her finances. And I think for me, that's just so interesting. Um, and I love the stock market. Like this is something that surprises a lot of people, but it's like I love the stock market. I have a lot of stocks currently. I love investing. So it's just for me, it's something that's like it's super interesting and it's just like that's something I really want to pursue in the future. So like I think my dream career would be like a hedge fund manager or something like that.
Any colleges on the like any dream colleges on the radar?
Yeah. So I think UPenn would be my first one. Like Wharton would obviously like that would be my dream school. And then I think UMich is one that I'm really going for as well.
Good luck with everything,
Thank
and I
you.
hope you continue on. I hope you continue on the tradition. Congratulations and good luck with everything.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
so much.
All right, I want to thank Tanmayee, Laura, and Ella for being on our show and sharing their knowledge with us. Good luck to them. And folks, if you liked what you heard today and you want to know more about planning, saving, and paying for college and career readiness, well then please follow the show. And you can do that wherever you get your podcasts. And also please, if you're so inclined, leave a review for the show. It just helps us to keep doing what we're doing and bringing this content to folks just like you. Special thanks to our producers Sean Connolly and to AJ Yee and Lisa Rooney for their assistance in getting the show posted. Once again, my name is Jonathan Hughes, and this has been the MEFA Podcast. Thank you.